And as the theme would suggest, it's time for Thanks for the Memory. Tonight, program 56, and I hope you're going to stay with me between now and midnight. At 8:30, Themes We Remember. At 8:50, our light music spot. 9 o'clock, the Hall of Fame. 9:15 on this day. 9:30, it's Crosby Corner time. 10 o'clock, part 1 of the Arthur Schwartz story. 11 o'clock, comedy from Lily Tomlin. 11:30, Al Bowley Remembered. And that's how it goes. Why don't we get the program away to a very nice start. One of my favourite singers from Britain, the Joe Loss Orchestra, it's Chick Henderson.
Tomorrow we'll be singing when we're starting. No more parting in this new world. There's a new world full of gladness. In this new world, no more sadness. Every mammy, every pappy will be happy in this new world. No picking cotton, no planting corn, no more taters to hoe. Blues all forgotten from night to morn, watching the green pastures grow. There's a new world where there's chicken, watermelons for the picking, golden slippers for your stamping when you're camping in this new world. All the way to Jordan, shout hallelujah. All the way to Jordan, sing brother sing. All the way to Jordan, shout hallelujah. All the way to Jordan, brothers, shout and sing.
Until midnight, you're with Thanks for the Memory on Southern FM 88.3.
Way down among Brazilians, coffee beans grow by the billion, so they've got to find those extra cups to fill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil. You can't get cherry soda 'cause they've got to sell their quota, and the way things are, I guess they never will. They've got a zillion tons of coffee in Brazil. No tea or tomato juice, you'll see no potato juice, 'cause the planters down in Santos all say no, no, no. A politician's daughter was accused of drinking water and was fined a great big $50 bill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil. those extra cups to fill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil. In Brazil. And when their ham and eggs need savor, coffee ketchup gives them flavor. Coffee pickles way outsell the deal. Why they put coffee in the coffee in Brazil? No tea, la-la-da, or tomato juice. You'll see, la-la-da, no potato juice. 'Cause the Flanders down in Santos all say no, no, no. So you'll add to the local color. Serve coffee with a crawler. Dunkin' doesn't take a lot of skill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil. They grow the coffee bean, which differs from the Boston bean, which differs from the Habu bean, which is totally and completely different from the string, lima, and soy bean. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil.
This is Southern FM 88.3. You're tuned to the great southern sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
Well, there we are, getting our program away to a great start this evening. We heard 3 tunes, and they were There's a New World, Chick Henderson with the Joe Loss Orchestra from September 1936. The Andrews Sisters and the Coffee Song. They got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil from October 1946. And In Town Tonight, the BBC Dance Orchestra conducted by Henry Hall. And they recorded that in London on the 15th of February 1934. The tune, of course, written by Eric Coates. It's 11 minutes. 11 minutes after 8 o'clock on 88.3 Southern FM. And we'll have this message and be right back.
Think of your lungs as a balloon. Now, think of this balloon trapped in a vice. This is how it feels to have an asthma attack. Each year, over 750 Australians die from these attacks. The Asthma Foundation finances research and education aimed to save these lives, with no government funding. Give what you can on 9853 5666 and stop asthma taking away lives.
Kissing me, but there seems to be something missing in your kissing. The love we knew is but a memory, is turned into a comedy. The thrill is gone, the thrill is gone. I can see it in your eyes, I can hear it in your sighs. Feel your touch and realize the thrill is gone. The nights are cold, for love is old. Love was grand when love was new. Birds were singing, skies were blue. Now I don't appeal to you. The thrill is gone, this is the end. So why pretend and let it linger on? The thrill is gone.
like a melody. And of course that was the song written by Irving Berlin back in 1919, and that piano interpretation there presented by Jan August. Before that we heard Rudy Valley and his Connecticut Yankees, and a song written back in 1931 by Buddy DeSilva, Lou Brown and Ray Henderson. And The Thrill Is Gone. It's 18 minutes after 8 now with 88.3. This is Southern FM.
Hi, I'm Richard Fitzgerald from Talk to the Animals, and you're invited to a free day of family fun. The open day at the Guide Dog Centre. Now there'll be puppies to pat, celebrities to meet, guide dog demonstrations, heaps of fun. Oh, and there's some great prizes to be won too, including a fantastic new Mazda MX-5. The open day at the Guide Dog Centre on Chandler Highway Q. It's free if you are. It's on Sunday, November 19, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll see you there.
Thank you, Richard. And there's another open day. That's next Sunday, the 12th of November, and that's the annual open day at the Mayflower Retirement Community. It's holding its annual open day Sunday, the 12th of November from 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. Selected accommodation will be open for viewing and inspection. The Mayflower Retirement Community is at 7 Centre Road in East Brighton. For more information, you can call 9592 2774. 9592 2774. Until midnight, you're listening to Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr on the great Southern Sounds of Melbourne, Southern FM 88.3. And I want to say hello to some very special listeners out there this evening. Mary and Edna, of course, and they tell me that you haven't been well. Not good. Hope you're feeling a lot better now. And also we're going to play a particular song right at this very minute for a lady who's listening by the name of Poppy Newell. And Poppy Newell is the daughter of the late Sidney Birchall, who was a prolific recorder or recording star back in the 30s, and was also a wonderful performer in musical comedy for the J.C. Williamson circuit. And last week I became aware that of a connection between one of our presenters here and Poppy Newell, and I mentioned to Maria that I had quite a few of Sidney Birchall's recordings, and I've got a couple of them out tonight. We'll play one right now. This goes back to 1936 when Sidney recorded this particular tune called Don't Give Up the Ship. In 1936, as I say, at the Columbia Studios in Homebush. This particular song was originally recorded in the United States by Dick Powell. It was from one of his Warner Brothers movies. But Sidney Birchall does a marvellous job of Don't Give Up the Ship. And I hope for all the Newell family out there that they enjoy hearing Sidney Birchall and Don't Give Up the Ship.
Shipmates stand together, don't give up the ship. Fair and stormy weather, we won't give up the ship. Friends and pals forever, it's a long, long trip. If you have to take a licking, carry on and quit your kicking, don't give up the ship. Shipmates stand together, don't give up the to take a licking, carry on and quit your kicking. Don't give up the ship. Carry on and quit your kicking. Don't give up the ship.
Our home is a shambles. All I've treasured has gone. The town seems deserted. Everyone so forlorn. A storm came from up above, but somehow it missed the shrine of Saint Cecilia. The bells in the chapel never ring anymore. The clock in the steeple can't tell time as before. But up on the hillside stands a place heaven bless, the shrine of Saint Cecilia. Each day at eventide, when I seek haven from my daily care, you'll find me by her side. It seems so peaceful there. I kneel in my solitude and silently pray that heaven will protect you, dear, and there'll come a day the storm will be over and that we'll meet again at the shrine of Saint Cecilia. From my daily care, you'll find me by her side. Oh, it seems so peaceful there. I kneel in my solitude and silently pray that heaven will protect you, dear, and there'll come a day the storm will be over and that we'll meet again at the shrine of Saint Cecilia.
Hello, this is Steve Price, and you're listening to Thanks for the Memory on 88.3 Southern FM with Alex Hehr.
Wait till the sun shines, Nelly, when the clouds go drifting by. We will be happy, Nelly, don't you sigh. Down Lover's Lane we'll wander, sweetheart, you and I. Wait till the sun shines, Nelly, by and by. On a Sunday morn sat a maid forlorn, with her sweetheart by her side. Through the window pane she looked at the rain. We must stay home, Joe, she cried. There's a picnic too near the river view. It's a shame it rained today. Then the boy drew near, kissed away each tear, as she heard him softly say, wait till the sun shines, Nelly, when the clouds go drifting by. We will be happy, Nelly, don't you sigh. Don't ever let me hear you. Down Lover's Lane we'll wander, sweetheart, you and I. If you will wait till the sun shines, Nelly, by and by, by and by.
And there we are with the Barbershop Quartet and a good old timer, Wait Till the Sun Shines, Nelly. That goes back to 1905. Before that, we heard from Kate Smith with the Shrine of St. Cecilia, and we opened that recording break there with Don't Give Up the Ship from Sidney Birchall. And we'll have another one of Sidney Birchall's songs a little later in our program this evening, so stay with us, won't you? It's 8:29.
Time for the weather.
And the fax machine has just given me the latest Bureau forecast from the Meteorology Bureau in Melbourne. This was issued at 8:25 on Sunday for the remainder of this evening and for Monday. There are warnings. Gale-forced east to southeast wind is expected over all Victorian coastal waters. Strong east to southeast wind is expected over Port Phillip Bay and Western Port. A farmers and graziers warning is current for southern and mountain districts, and the warning of minor flooding are current for the Cann and Genoa rivers. Now for Melbourne and the metropolitan area, rain at times with local heavy falls and the chance of thunderstorms. Cool, fresh to gusty southeast wind. Minimum overnight 12. Currently on the studio block here at Southern FM, it's 10.9 degrees. Maximum tomorrow should be 18. The outlook for Tuesday, showers with a maximum temperature of 18. Wednesday becoming fine, 20, and Thursday fine and 27. So it looks like a very showery day with a maximum of 18 for Cup Day Tuesday. In Melbourne, it's 8:30 and a half. It's time to relive memories of radio and TV shows of the past with themes we remember. Yes, one of my favourite parts of the program Thanks We Remember is our theme section where we get to reminisce and play a couple of old radio or TV themes. Tonight they happen to be both television themes going back to the 60s. Firstly, an Australian theme written by Frank Smith, and it's the theme to the series Bellbird. How many people used to watch that religiously on Channel 2? Wonderful program, and the theme tune was written by Frank Smith. Sven Liebeck conducts the TV Themes Orchestra through the theme from Bellbird. There we are, the theme from Bellbird, as played by the TV Themes Orchestra. Good hearing that all over again. And as I said, the second theme we have tonight is also from television. This particular tune is called Old Ned. It was written by Ron Grainer for the BBC TV series Steptoe and Son. And tonight it's played by Ron Grainer and his orchestra. The theme from Steptoe and Son. Join us next time when once again we relive memories of radio and TV shows of the past with themes we remember.
It's David Wiseman here, the Candyman. I'm inviting you to join me here on 88.3 Southern FM every Monday morning between 12 and 2 a.m, where I'll be presenting my usual style of easy listening music. So why not join me every Monday morning between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. here on 88.3 Southern FM.
Yes, the Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Makes the world taste good. A Candyman, a Candyman, a Candyman.
Ah, yes, David will be along at midnight through until 2 with lots of good music. It's 22 and a half to 9 now on 88.3.
Tony Fenlon, Australia's premier theatre organist, will present a festival of his most popular hits down the years next Sunday afternoon, the 12th of November, 1:30 at the Dendy Cinema, Brighton. So join him at the Dendy as he recalls his favourite musical memories in a Fenlon festival, next Sunday, the 12th of November at 1:30. It's another Theatre Organ Society concert. Tickets at the door.
This is your station for music, for news and sports. Now we must pause for a moment, our call letters to report. This is radio station
88.3 Southern FM.
Your station for music and news and sports.
An old man gazed on a photograph in a locket he'd worn for years. His nephew then asked him the reason why that picture had cost him tears. Come listen, he said, I will tell you, my lad, a story that's strange but true. Your father and I at the school one day met two little girls in blue. Two little girls in blue, and two little girls in blue, little girls in blue. They were sisters, we were brothers, and learned to love the two. And one little girl in blue, lad, who won your father's heart, became your mother. I married the other, but now we have drifted apart. That picture is one of those girls, he said, and to me she once was a wife. I thought her unfaithful, we quarreled, lad, and parted that night for life. My fancy of jealousy wronged a heart that was good and true. For two better girls never lived than they, those two little girls in blue. Two little girls in blue, lad, two little girls in blue, little girls in blue. They were sisters, we were brothers, and learned to love the two. And one little girl in blue, lad, who won your father's heart, became your mother. I married the other, but now we have drifted apart.
This is the BBC Light Programme.
The yellow moon shines up above. Music is bringing songs of love. To you and I this should
reaching into your community. The great southern sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
Well, that was an old-timer there, wasn't it? An old English Decca 78, recorded in 1930, 65 years ago. So it was a little bit scratchy and a couple of hiccups on it, but I hope you enjoyed listening to Lou Abelardo and the song written the year before, in 1929, called Should I? And before that, we heard Two Little Girls in Blue, which dates back to 1893, song written by Charles Graham and presented for us tonight by Gerald Adams and the Variety Singers. 88.3, the time is now 40 minutes before 9 o'clock. Don't forget that at 10 minutes to 9, we'll have our light music spot.
During the 1920s, Melbourne's most notorious criminal was Leslie Taylor, better known as Squizzy. Squizzy Taylor was prepared to do anything rather than earn an honest living. On one occasion, after being ordered off Caulfield Racecourse, Taylor got drunk while visiting numerous hotels and bragged that he would get even with a Caulfield Racing Club. Late that night, when the watchman had completed his rounds and gone to feed the draft horses at the stables in Station Street, Squizzy Taylor drew up in a car in the shadow of the gates on the eastern side of the course. He staggered over to the administration section carrying a can of petrol, which he slopped over the woodwork. He then threw down the lighted match and was nearly blown over by the explosion that followed. He staggered back to the car, which roared off and swerved dangerously into Glen Ira Road. The Argus reported that the police are reticent regarding their investigations, but are following a definite line of inquiry and hope to clear the mystery. The nature of the fire and the fact that the buildings were unnecessary for the conduct of the 1922 Caulfield Cup on the following day suggested was an act of revenge against the VATC. The police had their suspicions, but no evidence, and no one was ever charged or convicted for this act of arson. Squizzy Taylor got away that time, but later he came to a bad end, as you'll learn in other footnotes to history.
I must have a word with our cart scheduling people. I always end up with Squizzy Taylor. I don't know why. It's now 13 and a half minutes to 988.3. Every year, the Council of Adult Education, the nation's largest single provider of quality programs for adults, sets aside one day for women only at its city centre at 256 Flinders Street, Melbourne. This year's Women's Day is on the 19th of November and is aimed at developing women in their businesses and careers. There are half-day and full-day workshops with lunch included in the price of any ticket.
That's freaky as can be. When he sees a restaurant, he dashes through the door. They bring him shad, then he gets mad, and you should hear him roar. What? No spinach? Don't tell me that. What? No spinach? Hand me my hat. I don't care for onions. They hurt my bunions. Why don't you try 'em on the cat? Oh, I wish that the fish that you gave me was down at the bottom of the sea. A, B, C, G. What? No spinach? What? No spinach? That's the finish of me.
The old Roaring Twenties there, and that one from Irving Aronson and his Commanders with Phil Sachs and his vocal on that particular track called What? No Spinach? I guess that was a bit of a paraphrase on Popeye, who would have been out in cartoon form around that time, about 1926, late 1926, early 1927. Well, it's 8.5 minutes before 9 on 88.3 Southern FM. And our distinctive theme there, introducing tonight's light music spot. And we opened our we didn't open it, but our third track tonight was a tune by Eric Coates, In Town Tonight. Well, this particular piece we're going to play in the light music spot is also written by Eric Coates. It's called Impression of a Princess. It's played for us by the Melody Light Orchestra, conducted by Old Jensen, which was a pseudonym for Robert Farnan. This is from the Chapel Recorded Music Library, and it's C542. I hope you enjoy Impression of a Princess. Lovely piece of music, wasn't it? From the pen of Eric Coates. Impression of a Princess, played by the Melody Light Orchestra, right here on 88.3 Southern FM.
You're listening to 88.3 Southern FM.
Thank you, Peter. Peter James there. 4 minutes to 9 at 9 o'clock or thereabouts, we'll have our Hall of Fame. We have a time, I think, I know we have time to fit this particular request in, and it's for Margaret, my very good friend Margaret from Noble Park. Every week she gives me a call and says, can I hear this, that or the other thing? And she's chosen a lovely tune tonight too. I haven't heard Al Morgan in a long, long time, and I know a lot of people out there will remember Al Morgan from the days in the late 50s, early 60s when he was out here appearing in Melbourne Tonight with Graham Kennedy. Here's the Chicago-based singer-pianist Al Morgan, and There's No Season on Love. Here you are, Margaret.
The flowers bloom in the spring of the year. It's not the time to go hunting for deer. The sun and moon shine their best in June, but there's no season on love. The fishing's good when the weather is nice. The birds go south when the rain turns to ice. It's then the trees start to shed their leaves, but there's no season on love. If you kiss in the summer, hug in the fall, if you snuggle in the winter, then you're heeding Cupid's call. Your hair can turn gray while you're making a dime. Jack can get dull if he works all the time. It's never too soon for a honeymoon, and there's no season on love. In the spring of the year, it's not the time to go hunting for deer. The sun and moon shine their best in June, but there's no season on love. The fishing's good when the weather is nice. The birds go south when the rain turns to ice. It's then the trees start to shed their leaves, but there's no season on love. If you kiss in the summer, hug in the fall, if you snuggle in the winter, then you're heeding Cupid's call. Your hair turns gray while you're making a dime. Jack can get dull if he works all the time. It's never too soon for a honeymoon, and there's no season on love.
Well, there you are, Margaret. I hope you enjoyed that. Al Morgan it was, and There's No Season on Love. It's just a half a minute before 9 o'clock, Hall of Fame. Right on 9 o'clock in Melbourne at 88.3 Southern FM. And now on Thanks for the Memory, it's time for Alex Hehr's Hall of Fame. Yes, away we go in the Hall of Fame for today. It'd be better if I used the right fader, wouldn't it? The Hall of Fame for today being the 5th of November 1995, and these are the births and deaths of prominent people throughout history. Okay, we'll go with the burst firstly. USA. The American singer Bryan Adams. He was born on this day in 1959. American film producer Vinton Friedley, born in 1891. Art Garfunkel, the American singer, was born in 1942. The British psychologist John Haldane was born in 1892. Interesting. The actress Vivien Leigh was born in India on this day in 1913, of course playing Scarlett O'Hara. English singer Peter Noone from Ermine and the Hermits was born in 1947. American actress Tatum O'Neal, born in 1936. The American musician and songwriter Graham Parsons, born in 1946. The English jockey Lester Piggott, born in 1935. The American actor and singer Roy Rogers, born in 1912. He's kicking along a little bit. Mike Score, the American singer and musician, was born in 1956. The American singer Paul Simon, singer, composer, lyricist and muso, born in 1941. Elke Sommer, the actress from Germany, was born in 1940. And Ike Turner, the American musician, was born in 1931. Now to the deaths, quite a few of these as well. George M. Cohan, who was basically in all aspects of show business. He died in New York on this day in 1942. The American musician Buddy Cole died in 1964. The musician Vladimir Horowitz died in New York on this day in 1989. American singer Johnny Horton. He was killed in a plane crash in Milano, Texas in 1960. Greta Keller, the Viennese-born singer, died in 1977 on this day. The American musician Guy Lombardo died in 1977 in Houston, Texas. Fred McMurray, American actor, died in 1991. American singer and musician Bobby Nunn died in 1987. Hot Lips Page, the American singer and musician, died in 1954. Barry Sadler, Sergeant Barry Sadler of the Green Beret fame, he died in 1989. The American musician and singer Bobby Scott died in 1990. Also the American musician Art Tatum, fabulous piano player in the jazz style, he died in 1956. Peter Warburton, the Australian explorer, died on this day in 1889, and the American musician Lou Waters died on this day in Santa Rosa, California in 1989. Till midnight, you're with Thanks for the Memory on 88.3 Southern FM.
Night is over, dawn is breaking, everywhere the town is waking, just as we are on our way to sleep. Lovers meet and dance a little, snatching from romance a little souvenir of happiness to keep. The music of an hour ago was just a sort of let's pretend. The melodies that charmed us so at last are ended. The party's over now, the dawn is drawing very nigh. The candles gutter, the starlight leaves the sky. It's time for little boys and girls to hurry home to bed, for there's a new day waiting just ahead. Life is sweet, but time is fleet beneath the magic of the moon. Dancing time may seem sublime, but it is ended the thrill has gone. To linger on would spoil it anyhow. Let's creep away from the day, for the party's over now. Let's creep away from the day, for the party's over now.
And we heard that time from Sydney Torch at the organ, rather than conducting an orchestra on that occasion, and a tune written by Al Dubin and Harry Warren in 1937, featured in the film Mr. Dodd Takes the Air. Remember Me at the organ, Sydney Torch. And before that, The Party's Over Now, Joyce Grenfell with Cyril Ornadell Theatre Orchestra, and a tune written, of course, by the master himself in 1939. Noel Coward, and The Party's Over Now. 9:30 after 9 on 88.3 Southern FM.
As a phone user, you now have access to the Telecommunications Industry Ombudsman, an independent office established to help settle any unresolved complaints or disputes you may have with your telephone company. The Telecommunications Ombudsman is a last resort free service for those telephone complaints that seem unsolvable. If you have a complaint, you can call the Ombudsman's office toll-free on 1-800-062-058. That's 1-800-062-058. An industry ombudsman for phone users.
Right on 10 past 9. You're listening to Thanks for the Memory, part of your weekend on Southern FM 88.3. I mentioned in our Hall of Fame segment that it's the anniversary of the death of a great orchestra leader, Guy Lombardo. He died in November 1977 in Houston, Texas. Here's a little tribute to Guy Lombardo and one of the songs he made famous. Seems like old times, and it's rather appropriate for this program.
Seems like old times, having you to walk with, just like old times, having you to talk with, and it's still a thrill just to have my arms around you, still the thrill that it was the day I found you. Seems like old times, dinner dates and flowers, just like old times, staying up for hours, making dreams come true, doing things we used to do. Seems like old times, being here with you. Seems like old times, dinner dates and flowers, just like old times, staying up for hours, making dreams come true, doing things we used to do. Seems like old times, being here with you. Being here with you, being here with you.
Reaching into your community, the great Southern Sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
Behind the clouds are crowds and crowds of sunbeams shining for you. And in a little while, the clouds will break and heaven will smile. When days are gray, look up and say, the skies will surely be blue. We all have troubles, more or less, still there's worlds and worlds of happiness behind the clouds for you.
On this day in 1912, Woodrow Wilson, taking advantage of a split in the Republican opposition, won the US presidential election to become the first Democrat in the White House in 20 years. On this day in 1991, the colourful and controversial press baron Robert Maxwell drowned after mysteriously falling from his luxury yacht off the Canary Islands. He was not missed for some hours, and it was only after an intensive air and sea search that his naked body was found floating in the sea. On this day in 1605, there was much rejoicing at the narrow escape of His Majesty James I and their lordships after a plot to blow up the Houses of Parliament was discovered late the previous evening. Lord Monteagle, a Catholic peer, had received a letter warning him to stay away from the state opening and hinting at an explosion. An investigation of the cellars beneath the House of Lords revealed a man by the name of Guy Fawkes, a pile of wood, and under the wood some 36 barrels of gunpowder. On this day in 1924, the last Manchu emperor, 18-year-old Puyi, was forced to leave his palace in Peking by Christian warlord Feng Yuxiang, who had taken control of the city. Puyi had been compelled to abdicate in 1912 by the revolutionary government in Nanking after the Wuchang uprising, ending 268 years of Manchu rule and over 2,000 years of imperial tradition. The emperor, who now calls himself Henry Puyi, has sought the protection of the Japanese in their concession at Tianjin. And now let's have a look at some of those who were born on this day throughout history. The American actor and singing cowboy Roy Rogers was born in 1912. British actress Vivien Leigh, best known for her Oscar-winning role as Scarlett in Gone with the Wind, was born in 1913. Elke Sommer, the German actress, was born in 1940, and the American singer Art Garfunkel was born in 1942. It all happened on this day. Yes, on this day, for the 5th of November, it's 19 after 9 on 88.3 Southern FM. And before on this day, we heard from the Organ, the Dance Band and Me with the vocal Harry Kay and Behind the Clouds, and Remember Me, Sydney Torch, and the orchestra we heard already, so I don't need to back announce that, do I? We played something else, I thought, but I can't remember what it was. Do you realise that? Never mind. It's, now let me see, 19 and a half minutes after 9 o'clock, 88.3 Southern FM, your program, of course, Thanks for the Memory. And just listening to that on this day, Cart, reminded me that when I was a kid, Guy Fawkes Day was a big thing. We used to have a bonfire and crackers and Catherine wheels and all that sort of thing. And I just wonder what's happened. I guess since they banned fireworks to the sale to the general public, that's had a bit of a significant impact upon it. But, gee, I always used to look forward to Guy Fawkes Day. I don't know about you.
Be a Darrods girl, look for value with economy. a Darrod's girl, look for quality and style. Shop at Darrod's, the style store in Burke Street.
Until midnight, you're with Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr on 88.3 Southern FM.
The moon and you appear to me so near and yet so far from me. And here am I on a night in June, reaching for the moon and you. I wonder if we'll ever meet. My song of love is incomplete. I'm just the words looking for the tune, reaching for the moon and you.
You're tuned to the great southern sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
and blue.
Makes me dream all day, dreams I know will never end.
Everything I have is yours, dear. I wanna know why can't we be friends? I'm singing the blues. You tell me and I'll tell you.
Means my happiness.
String along with me, I'll see you through.
Should I answer yes to?
Hear me talking to you.
Well, you ought to get.
Look, here comes the bride. Who's by your side? Nobody else but you, baby.
G'day, it's Arthur here. You know, even though I'm made out of metal and I've got creaky joints, I can still get about pretty well if I'm clever about it. And it's the same for arthritis sufferers. Ring the Arthritis Foundation now on 1902 261 511 and find out how to get all the information you need to take control of arthritis. You can even buy a copy of the book A New Way of Life. 1902 261 511.
It's 95 cents a minute.
Should have used an iron.
27 minutes after 9 o'clock, 88.3 Southern FM, your program, Thanks for the Memory, through until midnight. We heard Tommy Dorsey's orchestra with the vocal of Jack Leonard just before, with the wonderful tune Who, and the Rhythmic 8, with the vocal of Maurice Elwyn, recording in London in 1931, and Reaching for the Moon. The Bayside area of the Australian Institute of Genealogical Studies Incorporated will hold its next meeting on Monday the 27th of November 1995 at St Nicholas's Anglican Church Hall, corner Bear and Albert Streets in Mordialloc. The time is 8 p.m. It's an end-of-the-year break-up and it'll be held with brags and boasts. All welcome, members are free, and I think everyone's free on that particular night. You can inquire with Gary Rogers on 9772 7464. 9772 7464. One more piece of music and then we'll go into Crosby Corner. Okay, yes.
deep in my heart, beating with joy. Cymbals I hear, way down in my soul, reaching my ear, crashing with joy. Hey, the new day is welcome the bright sky. Humbly I pray, happy am I. Drums in my heart, striking a new chord. Drums in my heart, thank the Lord.
Hope you enjoyed that one. That was Drums in My Heart, presented by DeBroy Summers and his band. The vocalist was Raymond Newell. It's 29 minutes to 10 on 88.3 Southern FM.
Where the bloom of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me.
On Thanks for the Memory, we present Crosby Corner.
Crowns the blue of her eyes like a halo tenderly.
And welcome once again to Crosby Corner. Another two songs from Bing tonight. Firstly, a tune written by Phil Baxter, A Faded Summer Love. And we feature Bing with a studio orchestra, recording in New York on the 6th of October 1931, and A Faded Summer Love.
You left today, but you didn't say goodbye. I wonder why. I'm standing now where you made your vow. So blue for you, I could cry. Leaves come tumbling down round my head. Some of them are brown, some are red. Beautiful to see, but reminding me of a faded summer love. Swaying high above in the trees, they were so in love with the breeze. Now the autumn wind brings to them the end of a faded summer love. I'm like the poor leaves that swayed with the breeze. I thought that life was sweet. You are the sweet breeze that tried hard to please, then swept me off my feet. Summer morning dew turns to frost. Leaves that once were new pay the cost. Beautiful to see, but reminding me of a faded summer love. I'm like the poor leaves that swayed with the breeze. I thought that life was sweet. You are the sweet breeze that tried hard to please, then swept me off my feet. Summer morning dew turns to frost, leaves that once were new pay the cost. Beautiful to see, but reminding me of a faded summer love.